What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're having a beautiful start to your week and hopefully you're profitable. Kind of a boring weekend, but nevertheless, I have some ideas about ETH, where it could be potentially going. So let's dive into this together. So right now, ETH is currently trading just under 3K. I have some targets that I'm looking at right around these fib levels, these 618, right at 3065. This is something that we mentioned inside of our trading tournament about last week. This is an area that I was looking to see what their reaction looks like. In the event that we get additional pushes above, which there is room for that, because if I'm looking at a DMI, which measures strength and momentum in the market, we can see from the ADX, which is that black line, there currently is strength inside of the market. Now, mind you, I'm using a 3-day time frame just to kind of give me a broader data and give me a better understanding as far as where this swing is going to be coming from. So I am going to be very cautious as far as entering into shorts there. You can enter into a short there and utilize it as an intraday and even a potential scalp. We'll take a peek at that on lower time frames. But let's go back over to the chart on a 3-day. Just kind of take a gander as far as what this means to us. Right now, we can see the EMAs, which is the yellow, which is 100. The red is 200 and the green is 55. And we can see right over here back on right around like the 13th inside this area between the 4th and the 7th, actually, we had a death cross, which essentially is bearish for us. Now, overall, from a strategy perspective, I'm looking at a wave count, which is this red line right over here. I'm considering this to be wave 2. In the event that wave 2 exceeds past 618, it's not outside the norm. 0.76 would be the next level, and that's a pretty thick gap, over 400 pips between the two. So I'd be very cautious as far as entering into shorts there. I would definitely be looking for confirmation on lower time frames. But for my analysis, this wave right over here is wave 1, and we are now currently inside of a wave 2. It's just a matter of where wave 2 is going to complete. Where wave 3 is going to go to as far as impulse wise, we'll dive into that once we get confirmation, because I do have some pretty deep levels. But I will give you the skinny version of that, and that's saying that if we have a double top and maybe possible invalidation, and double bottom, then we're going to be coming back down to these levels. For sure, sub 2K, testing this fair value gap one more time. In the event that we get the complete opposite of that and we flip this red box, which is a bearish order block, if we flip that zone, then ETH is now positioned to go into an all-time high this year. So this is going to be a very important area for ETH to either perform or completely crash. I'm on the side of believing that its performance has just been lack thereof, underperforming, while BTC is hitting all-time highs consecutively last year, this year, now hitting right around 120 plus. If that starts to cool off and starts to coming down hard, then ETH is just essentially going to start following suit. That being said, I'd be looking for these levels of 618, looking for shorts. Let's go down to a lower time frame. Let's come over to roughly like a 4-hour, see what that looks like. And we can see that it appears that there's distribution because we're hovering right underneath that 618 level. We can see that we have some bearish candles going on right now. We actually have a bearish engulfing, which is an indication that it is a reversal. So that we could have a strong reversal here on the 4-hour. We got to see how that leads up to. Essentially, we have our EMAs that are now crossed over, which are bullish. Let's take a look at our DMI at the same time with that. DMI is showing a lack of strength in this area. And actually the momentum is now becoming more flat. When we see that the bearish momentum is sitting inside of these regions right over here, right inside these zones, at some point it starts to curve back up, and that's when sellers really start to pick up momentum. And what's the biggest clue for that is the loss of strength. That's going to be this black line that you see as far as ADX. It peaked out right around 80. This is going to be a really strong point when an ADX starts losing strength. We usually get like one little pump over here. These are sometimes exit pumps and even short squeezes for most traders that are out there. So what we're looking for, at least how I'm positioning myself, if you guys want to follow suit, I'm going to go back over to a 3-day because I'm looking at this from a swing position. I'm looking for a confirmation. I got about 5 more hours left in this current session for a 3-day. I want to see what that next session looks like. Although 4 hours showing me a bearish reversal, I could be floating around inside of this 618 area. So I'd be starting to position myself inside the zone, taking a stop loss that's right above 1.01%, which is roughly around $30 from whatever your position is. So let's say you got in at 3,065, I'd be setting my stop loss to roughly around 3,095, just shy of 3,100. If we get in between above that 618 area, then we are headed to that 0.76, 3462, which is still going to be bearish because I'm looking at this from a wave 2 count perspective. And wave 2 could complete around 0.76, but as I mentioned before, if it flips this red box that you see right over here, if it flips this red box, it's taking that bearish order block, it's going to turn it into support, and then ETH is going to go into all-time highs this year. Now, if you guys have any questions, any confusion about that, or if you want a little bit more guidance on this, please feel free to reach out to me via DM. More than happy to have a discussion with you. You can find me inside of our trading tournament with live analysis from USDT, BTC, and ETH, and other coins that are spread across that I'm actually going to be trading. But again, if you guys need help, please feel free to reach out. Outside of that, hopefully this information serves you well. Stay safe, be profitable, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.